What's up, guys? CJ the Bob's Burgers movie in Our House for 2018. Today I'm going to do a review on a TV show I've been planning to do one for a while now, and that's Squid Game. Came out 2021. So before I begin this review, I'm just to let you all know I'm going to talk about each season one by one. So firstly, I'm going to talk about season one, then season two, and then season three. So yeah, hope you all get what I mean. So let's start with season one. So what happens in season one? We have a character called Gihon. He lives with his mother. It's his daughter's birthday. He was good. He was given money, but instead of buying his daughter a gift, he he bet on horses, tried gambling on horses. He won the bet. He was gambling. He won the gamble. He won the bet. And then these people that come chasing him, and he bumps into this girl called Sabiok. He helps her, but then she pickpockets him, and then Gihon gets in trouble. His name's Seong Gihon. Yeah, and then he gets in trouble, and then he was into a lot of debt. Like he needed to get money for like these people he owed money to, and for his like mother. And um, then one day he was at a train station. This guy, a salesman, came, played a little game with him. Which if he tries to flip this thing over, every time he doesn't flip it, and the other guy flips it, he slaps him. Whenever he does, he gets money. And then he was given a card saying, "If you want to compete more games, come call this number." He got the number, he ran it, and then he went to the island, and he entered the games called Squid Game, and then he has to try win the money and the prize, but it's not easy as he thinks, because when somebody gets eliminated, they die, and then he has to like try and then he has to try and win, but then afterwards he manages to they all let them go, and then they all voted to leave, and then he tries to get them to the police station trying to frame them, but then when he had to get more depth, him and these people he met at the Squid Game Islands went back and they started competing to try and get money, and that's basically the plot. What happens in season one? Now, guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. Season one of Squid Game is honestly my favorite season out of them all. I'm sorry, but season one is honestly my favorite season because it just feels so nostalgic to me. It just feels so really nostalgic, in my opinion. What can I say? Like season one was such a masterpiece. Like, oh, sorry, I'm a bit tired, guys, but yeah, like they had a lot of great chemistry, and I love the characters. Like Gihon is my favorite character. We have Samwoo play. See, I would say the characters. If I don't remember the characters' names, I'll just say the player names. But I'll say the player names as well. So we have Gihon, player 456. He was my favorite character. aka player 218. He was a great character. Sabiak, aka player 067. I'm not doing that stupid 6-7 joke, so don't even think about doing it. That's very rude. Then we have Ollie Abdul, player 199. 199. He's a great. He was an awesome character, which I'm gonna get to his death later. Then we have the villains, Deoxu, player 101. Um uh Seo, player 212, and Eldam, player 1. Yeah, they were great villains in my opinion. I really like those three villains. I mean Eldam we didn't know was a villain until the final episode. Which yeah. And also the front man, Inho, he was a great villain. I liked him. I do like his brother, the detective. And I do like all the challenges: red light, green light, Dalgona, tug of war, marbles, glass bridge, and Squid Game. The final round of Squid Game, which they're all great ones. One of which is my favorite. Honestly, it's red light, green light, in my opinion, and the glass bridge. They're my favorites. So yeah, but yeah, it was sad at the end. There were a lot of sad deaths in this season. Like Ali Abdul's death was really sad. Player 240's death was sad, and was really sad. And Sabiak's death was super sad as well, which I didn't like how they killed off those characters. Really wish they were alive. And also, it was sad. Like, I mean, Samwoo was a traitor. Like, he did kill some characters, but it was kind of sad when he like stabbed himself because him and Gi Hun could have got out together. But sadly, that didn't happen. And then, sadly, when Gihon got back to his town, Seondon, Sunderdon, which I don't know what the town's name, I can't pronounce it, but yeah, he went back to the island. He went back home. His mother has sadly passed, and then he was trying to live a normal life. And then a year later, he reunites with Ilnam, finds out that he's playing games, and he got mad. And then after that, he decides to go move away to go see his daughter that moved to the US. Oh, his daughter Gaia, and yeah, she's a great character as well. Yeah. Then sadly, he saw the salesman, and then he stops a guy from going to the Squid Games. And then he calls them, and then Hull says, "Just go on that plane for your own good." And he hangs up and just runs back and decides to stop them. And that's when season one ended. Honestly, that was such a great cliffhanger. I was thinking, I didn't even think Squid Game was going to come back. When they announced that season two was in the works, I was like, let's go! That's awesome. Then I'll get to know what happens next. I was so curious what's going to happen next. And now let's get to season two. So season two takes place after season one left off. Gihon is starting to go for a hunt, go looking for these people who create the Squid Games, who's behind it, and he hired these teams to look for them. But then he tried looking for the salesman. And one day, it took him like 2 years to find them. And then one day, these people who he like worked for or knew um found him, found them, and then they tried chasing him down. But then at the end of the episode, Gihon finally reunites with him, but then the salesman somehow, some reason, shoots himself. And then next episode, he goes to his Halloween party for his like birthday, because his birthday's on Halloween, if you believe it or not. But then next day, and then he says to Inho, the front man, that he wants to play the games again. Or not just to get the money, but just to try and stop the games. And he goes back to Squid Games and tries to warn everybody, but nobody believes him. And they all like thinking that he's a crazy psychopath, which he wasn't. He was trying to save them all. He tries to stop the games, so that's what happens in season two. Now, guys, season two was a great season. I really liked season two. The first two episodes of season two was good, but the rest are better because he's at the games. Which was there was so many great characters. I'm gonna say there was a lot more side characters in this season than the first season, because there were only like for the Squid Games, but here there was like way more. There was way more side characters. Like I liked them all. Well, a couple I didn't like, a few, but yeah. So we have the characters. We have the character Myungi, player 333. He was a great. I liked him in this season, but the next season we'll get to him for the next season. Kim Junhee, player 222. She is smoking hot. I really like her. I love Junhee. She's so freaking hot. She's an awesome character. And then we have Cho Huan, player 120, which I'd forgotten. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Yeah, she was a great character. And then we have Jiamja, Jiam Giamja, player 149. She was an awesome character. Then we have Young Sik, player 7. He was a great character. Which shockingly, the Giamja and Young Sik are, are actually mother and son. Which when I first saw that, I was like, oh, I don't think this is gonna go well. And then we have we actually have there is actually one character that was in season one that came back in this season. Jumbe, you know Jumbe, Gi-hun's friend that we saw in season one. He came back for this season. He's become player 390. Honestly, he actually had a lot more. Jumbe, honestly, he actually had a lot more to do in this season than the first season. Because in the first season, he doesn't really do that much, but here he has a lot more to do. Which I didn't expect him to bring back the character. It was nice seeing him again. I do like John Bay. He's a great character. I'm gonna get to him. What happened? I'm gonna get to him again later. Then we have Daeho, played 388. He's a great character. Then we have Thanos. No, I'm not talking about Thanos from Avengers. I'm talking about character Thanos in this. Player 220. He is actually a funny character. I get why everybody loves him. Then we have Nyamgu, player 124. He's an alright character. Then we have Minsu, player 125. He's a great character. Then we have Semi, player 380. She was a great character too. And then we also have, and there's also this one character that I hate, that I despise, and that's Gionde, Giongi, or Gionde, Player 100. Honestly, guys, I'm sorry, but I despise this character with a burning passion. He's honestly the worst character in Squid Game as a whole, in my opinion. He's just an awful character. He's definitely he's basically the Devin Weston of, um, sorry about that, I was just checking something. He's basically the Devin Weston from GTA 5 of Squid Game. And that woman, Sionio, player 44, she was an awful character too. I did not like her. She was the mother gothel of Squid Games, in my opinion. Yeah, and the front man in Ho, he joins in the games for this season to see what would be going on with Keon. Honestly, it's kind of cool that Inho is a great villain. Honestly, Inho, he actually had a lot more to do in this season than the first season. For the first season, he doesn't actually do anything. All he does is just sit and watch the games. But here, he joins in to make sure what's going on. And I don't know what I don't like what he did at the end, which you'll see. Well, I'll explain in a minute. And also, player 246, Gonziok, I think the name is. Yeah, honestly, he was a great character. I liked him, and I felt bad for him and what happened to his daughter. Which his daughter, honestly, I felt bad for his daughter because his daughter had cancer treatment. Which yeah, and player 11, guard 11, she was a great character. She was trying to when she saw him, she tried to help him and all that. Which yeah. And I do also like the Squid Game guys as well. And I forgot about Sabiok as well. I know Sabiok sadly not in the season, but she did briefly mentioned she was a great character. And I do like Sabiok. Yeah, and I also forgot to say Sabiok is also hot as well. Yeah. There is one character who I really wish had more screen time in season two, and that's Kamina, player 196. Honestly, she deserved more screen time. I really hated how they killed her off in this season. I also forgot to mention for season one, the character that deserved more screen time in season one was player 250, who got killed off in red light green light. He deserved more screen time in my opinion. Yeah. And Kamina, she deserved more screen time in season two. We wish we saw a lot more. Yeah. I also like Yummy as well. Yummy, player 95. She's great. Sorry, hiccup. Yeah, she's a great character as well. I liked her. Yeah. And it was really sick what happened at the end with the rebellion, which the rebellion was awesome. But sadly, it went absolutely downhill because of the whole didn't bring back magazines, and sadly, all the characters got killed off. The ones that lived were Kihon, Chord Guon, and Daeho, and Inho sadly betrayed them all. You know, we already knew that was coming, but then he killed Jumbe, and that's how the season two ended. We were, we all were like, everybody was like, oh, we need to know what happens next. We want to know what happens next. When I was in school, people kept talking about season two finale, and honestly, I didn't blame them. But yeah, I felt really bad for what happened to Jumbe. Honestly, the death was so sad. I actually nearly cried at that scene. I'm not even kidding. I actually nearly cried at that scene. Oh, and I also nearly cried at the scene where Ali Abdul got killed off in season one. I almost cried at that scene as well. I also cried at the scene where Jumbe got killed off. It was just too sad. It was Gi-hun's best friend. Yeah. And then we get to season three, which season three, oh gosh, it's a depressing moment. So season three takes place after season two's left off. Gi-hun is back in the room. The games are still going. Gi-hun is really mad and upset of what happened, and then he's like, why'd you let me live and nobody else? Why didn't I die? And then he got mad about it, and sadly, and sadly, um, it did not last long at all. So Gi-hun was just forced to stay at the bed all the time, and then these people that he knows are still looking for the island, and then the games keep going, and the season's just starting. I don't know what happens. I'm gonna get to Gi-hun later on. And honestly, this season's really depressing, in my opinion. The season was good, but I did like season three, but there were a lot of negatives I actually had as well. There were a few negatives I had with the season as well, sadly. Like, yeah, like it was shocking as well. Like, I will say the characters that we saw in season three, were kind of pushed. Like, Myung Gi in the season, honestly, play 3 5 3. Honestly, I hated this character in the season. I'm sorry. I will say I liked him in season two, but in season three, he was an awful character. I'm sorry, but he was just an awful character in season three. And then was like these new characters that like start like player 2 or 3, player 353, and player 336. They were in season 2, but they didn't do much in season 2. They had a lot more to do in this season than season 2. Yeah, I didn't like those characters. They were not good characters. And also, player 39 he had a lot more to do because in season 2 he doesn't do anything. We don't see him do anything. But then this season he had a lot more to do, which yeah, I did feel bad for him. Despite what he done was near the end of season 3 was kind of bad. But what happened to him was kind of sad because in the last episode he got beat up by these characters and they called him a lunchbox and then they forced him and he didn't want to go through it anymore, which I felt bad honestly at one minute. I did feel really bad for player 39. And yeah, and also it was the deaths are way more sadder in this season than the first 2 seasons because the characters that they killed off in the season were Yunsik, Jimaja, Gemyaja, Cho Hoyon, Junie, and Daeho and Liamgu. Sorry about the back that's said. So yeah, and and sadly, the most shocking one of all, Gihun. Yeah, they all got killed off. I might not say Daeho's death is sad because, I mean, I did feel bad for Daeho, sort of. I mean, he did, although it was sort of his fault that some of those characters died. Yeah, Junie gave birth to a baby in the hide and seek game. Sadly, only had it for a day. Sadly, she committed suicide in the jump rope because she couldn't do the jump rope challenge. She broke her ankle in the hide and seek game. And Gamuja, honestly, his death was just super sad. I did not like that scene where she like hung herself. Honestly, I was just so sad. It reminds me of season 1 where the husband and wife that we saw in Tug of War Marbles. Yeah, sadly, the husband lost his wife in the Marbles game, and he couldn't take it anymore, and he literally hung himself. And he couldn't spend the rest of his life without his wife. Honestly, I was actually so sad. It's the same story like this where it was so sad in hindsight as well because Gamuja killed her own son because Yuntik tried to kill Junie because they didn't have a single kill in the hindsight game. Which in the hindsight game, if nobody gets a single kill, they die. They get killed off. They die. They get eliminated. Yuntik had to try and survive. Yuntik isn't that kind of person to kill someone, which I felt bad. Yeah, but the most saddest death in season 3, in my opinion, was Gihun's death. It was so sad. I didn't like what Myung-gi did in the final episode, where he tried to kill his own baby, which honestly, a big middle finger to him. How could he do that? Why? I've never seen anyone do that in my whole life. That's just horrible. Absolute terrible. Thank gosh, nobody else does that. And also, yeah, but sadly, all the characters in Squid Game were eliminated. Nobody won the money. The baby won the money because Gi-hun sacrificed himself for the baby. Oh yeah, Minsu's death in this season was actually really sad as well because he actually got killed off for no reason, like because they all chose him and they all pushed him off. Honestly, that was just so sad. Minsu could have won. Him and Gi-hun. Would have been nice if Gi-hun and Minsu could have like teamed up and they could have worked together. Yeah, then the baby wins the money, but the only player that actually lived was player 246. That's right. At the end of season 2, we also got shot, right? But in season 3, it turns out that he was actually alive. He managed to survive. He got back to home and saw his daughter, and his daughter was saved. It's nice that he's alive, but sadly, Gihun died, and it was sad. And at the end of season 3, In-ho meets his daughter in the US, in Los Angeles, LA, Los Angeles, and then he lets her know that Gihun died, and then on the way somewhere, he was in a limousine. He saw a woman recruiter, playing with a homeless guy. The slapping game that we saw Salesman play with Gihon at the beginning. And honestly, it might not end there because there's potentially a Squid Game USA spin-off. We're gonna give that a shot. I don't know what's gonna come out. Probably next year, but honestly, let's do it. Squid Game USA. Let's freaking do it. Let's go. But yeah, overall, guys, I give Squid Game season 10. I give Squid Game a 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece show. It's really sad. It's my favorite. It is my favorite Netflix live action Netflix original series of all time. You know my animated one. My favorite animated Netflix original series of all time is Big Mouth. So yeah, thank you all for watching this review and goodbye. And I also love the quote as well. We are not horses. We are humans. Humans are. Honestly, I actually sort of relate to Gihon a little bit. Yeah. So if I go off watching this review, and goodbye.